record. Okay.
Amen. Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
Sounding yes. 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 And yes. All right. Now what I need to do is create a non-root user for my SQL. So I missed a step. I need to log in. As root. Enter my password, root. And then I'm going to run this command, which is, it's going to create a user called Parker J at localhost, and it's going to be identified by this password. I mean, I'm going to destroy the server after this anyway, so I am using a non-secure password.
All right, question.
Yep.
So this is just a user to manage PHP, to manage the database for the.
That's correct.
All right, I'm gonna do the same thing then.
Because I recommend not using root.
Why not?
For security reason, and also sometimes MySQL will do some changes with root when you're upgrading MySQL versions, or if you're going to do an upgrade of the OS, if a new Ubuntu version comes out, sometimes things happen, and then root seems to don't work anymore. And it has something to do with the, what do you call it? It's the MySQL plugin. I can't remember the name of it. But if you haven't set it correctly, then MySQL will revert back to using the plugin. So when trying to log in using root, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So I'm gonna go ahead and create the new user. And then I'm going to log out of root. And this is the next MySQL command I'm going to run. And it is setting the SQL mode. And the reason being is SQL is probably in strict mode, which means that when setting dates, MySQL has its own way for you to set a date. So if you don't remove strict mode, when you run the core migration to install the tables into the database, it's going to halt. It's going to just stop. Even though the migration is correct and written correctly, because MySQL is in strict mode, it's going to just halt and stop the migration. So we're running this command in order to remove the strict MySQL strict restriction.
Okay.
And that is done. Okay, next I'm going to create two directories. So if I go to var, under var, we just have the HTML one. I usually just leave that one alone. You can use it if you want to. I just like to create my own directory structure.
Okay.
So run this command to create the etsis.edutrac edutracsis.com directory, which basically mimics the domain I will use. Now,
give me 1 second, Joshua.
Yep.
My screen is frozen. I can't see what the change in yours.
Okay.
It's kind of like pixelating.
Yeah, it's taking a long time to paint.
Okay. All right. Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. Could I see your last command you did for MySQL, please, one more time?
Yeah, that would be this one.
All right, I'm gonna copy that one real quick.
And Parker J is the username I use, but you use whatever username you need to. Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this very same line right here is what may have made a big difference in the setup last time I did it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna see now. So I might know, that I'm also certain too as well that that using Nginx has something to do with it as well, which is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, I doing this on a lint stack, but it should work identical with a lamp stack, because like I said before, it all boils down to permissions. When you get the permissions correct, everything else should fall into line.
Yeah. Okay. My server is starting to hang on me. Okay, there we go. So for some reason, when I try to run the last command, is giving me access denied, but I'm not certain why. My password's correct. So let me try one more time. Okay, right, got it.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So you install everything into its own directory under www?
That's correct.
All right, so I can probably do something similar and create a directory. It's just the edutrac.com, or I can't call it anything I want, or
So what I usually do is I name the directory based on what URL I'm going to be using.
so I can do it based on IP address then.
Yes, you could do that.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend in this situation?
If you already know the URL, I would say use the domain name. If you don't know the name, if you don't know a domain name, or the domain name hasn't been set up yet, you can use the IP address.
Yeah, we're not going to be using a domain name for some time now, so.
Okay. So you can use the IP address, and when you do use a domain name, you can change it or leave it as is.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and create my first directory. And then under the etsis.edutracsis.com directory, I'm going to create an HTML directory, which will be my public directory.
Great. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and clone that as well into the HTML directory.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Get permission denied, so I probably need to put a pseudo at the end of that. At the beginning of that, I mean, pseudo. There we go. There we go. It's beautiful.
Right. So now I'm going to go into the HTML public directory. And then what I'm going to do is clone Edutrac SIS into the public directory. And I'm doing it from, I'm just doing the base core install. It's without all of the extra modules. And I have a dot at the end of this command so that it puts all of the files starting at the root level instead of creating a Edutrac SIS directory in which it goes into. Now, this only works if the public directory is empty. So if HTML had like an index.html file in it, then having the dot at the end won't work. You just have to just use the regular command. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and clone. All right. So all the files are there, and as you can see, it is the file group and the file user is set as root, which will need to be changed. So the first thing I need to do is create a new group. So I use the command add group space and whatever name group you want to give it. For this example, I'm going to give it the group. I'm going to name the group Edutrac.
Gotcha.
Right. So here it says adding group Edutrac, then done. Next, I'm going to use this command to add the user www.data to the Edutrac group using the command add user.
Okay.
And here it says it's done. Now, I need to change the ownership of etsis.edutracsis.com. So I need to change the ownership of that directory. So
Change it to Edutrac.
That's correct. So this is the command I am using to change that. So chown-v capital R space colon my group name, which is Edutrac, and then the directory.
So that way, it's the owner is going to be Edutrac on that root.
Correct.
Awesome. Okay, I feel like these permissions here made a huge difference in not knowing them.
Yes.
This is you. I mean, you probably set up for my permissions, so I mean, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's not talk about that.
All right, so I'll go ahead and run this command, and it's going to run it on the folder and other things. So this is sort of what it's going to look like. going pretty quickly. So it's changing the ownership on the files, directories, and the files. And you should see something of change ownership of at the beginning. And at the end, it's going to tell you from root to Edutrac.
Yeah.
So it's root user root group. Here it only shows you group, but the user is www.data because we didn't change that. All right. So the next thing we need to do is we need to grant write permission to this new group owner.
Okay.
We use the command chmod -v capital R G plus W and then our directory.
Got it.
All right. And when you run that command, it will look like this. Right? Here it tells you what it changed from 755 to 775. I'm going to skip this for now because what I'd rather do is make sure the directories are 755 and all files are 644. So I'm not going to change the directory as of yet, but I will change the files.
Okay.
All right. When I run this command, it will look like this. It's not going to show anything, but there's no error, so that means it's completed. And if we look back, I go to source.
So I got a little issue here because I'm missing argument to exec. What I miss? Exec. Oh, exec CF. I got that correct.
Okay. And as we can see,
It's giving a missing argument on find to the exec option.
I'm sorry, say that again.
So it's giving me a missing argument to exec. I'm not certain why.
So let's make sure. So you have find the directory dash type space F
Dash type space F, yeah.
space dash exec space chmod space 644
yeah.
Space open close bracket.
Okay, no, I should put a space between the last one. Yeah, I got that. That worked out. I didn't put a space between the open close bracket and the
backslash. Then colon. Semicolon, sorry, semicolon. Okay, so when you run that, you'll see all the PHP files are now 644.
You're in the app source folder?
I'm in the app source folder, yes. Because when we ran the previous command, the files were 644. They got changed to 664. That's a little too high. So I changed them back to 644.
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
All right.
So what about these ones here, which are all set? Okay, no, okay, never mind. Those are good.
Okay. All right. So next is I need to create a virtual host for to basically serve Edutrac. Right? Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. So I'm going to cd etc dash nginx forward slash nginx forward slash sites available. And I'm going to touch and you can name it any way you want.
Okay, so this wouldn't go into the default file?
No, I don't use the default file. I leave the default file for the, I just leave the default file alone.
All right. So if I have a default file, can I use it, or do you recommend I create another file with by the name of the IP address I'm using?
To make it consistent, I think you should create all your own stuff.
All right. Okay.
So, like I said, you can name it anything you want. I'm going to name it based off of the directory, which is etsis.edutrac.sis.com.vhost, because it's a vhost file. So that's what I'm going to name it.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Now I'm going to enter. That's done. I'm going to use nano to edit the file.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the server block that I'm using.
All right, so the first line listen is IP address for your server?
That is the IP address of the server I'm using, yes.
Okay. And will you have PHP 7.2? I should change it to 7. So for the FPM package, I'm changing it to 7.0.
Sorry, you broke up there for a bit.
No, it was a stupid question. I was just saying, will you have the FPM package for PHP 7.2?
Yeah.
I'll change it to this. Okay.
Yeah.
So would it be best for you to copy and paste that to me in the chat?
Yeah, no problem.
Beautiful.
All right. Then you change your root to whatever it needs to be. Your server name would be, well, you would change the root to whatever your public directory is. And the server name would be your IP address because that's what you're using.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is okay. You would change 7.2 to 7.0-FPM. And since this is a limp stack and not a lamp stack, any HT files should be denied. .ht should be denied. So, go ahead and copy that.
So for the line where you have index HTML, okay, never mind. I didn't see it before. You have the index PHP already.
Yep.
So how would this influence the default file, the default file where you have in place will there be any conflicts? What cause
There's,
a problem?
there should not be any conflicts.
Okay. I use the default file for initial setup on Nginx to get it to work.
Gotcha. So let me look at this. Since you're using the what do you call it? The IP address as your server name, you may need to remove default, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean the Nginx is already working beforehand because I already had it. The only thing I changed in the default file was I added another clause for location for the PHP myadmin.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So you might want to add that to this one, the PHP myadmin.
Okay. Good thinking. All right, I'm gonna save this real quick. I'm gonna get that PHP myadmin clause and add it here.
Because yeah, if there's anything in default you need, you should move it over just in case you may need to remove default.
Okay. Let me get that real quick. Good to know. I got that under control. Give me a minute, please.
No problem.
I thought I copied it, but I didn't copy it, so it pasted this other block of code again.
Okay. Okay.
Finally. No, that didn't copy it correctly. Okay. 2 seconds.
No problem.
Okay, finally, there we go.
Okay. So now what I want to do is create a symlink and then enable this vhost. Next, I'm going to run the command nginx -t, which means it will test the new configuration to let us know if there are any errors. And this says configuration file syntax is okay, configuration file is successful.
I still got no, hold on. I got test failed, but my site's enabled.
Okay. So can you paste into the chat your full vhost file?
The whole vhost file? Sure.
Yep, all the contents of it.
Okay, you know what? I think I see my problem. Oh no, that's not it. I'm gonna paste it in right now. Paste it kind of funky. Hold on, let me get that again. All right, there you go.
Okay, so let's get it from here. Okay, so you named your root directory the same as mine.
Okay. No. Okay, yeah, I did. Thank you.
And then
as well.
And your server name should be your IP address.
Yeah. I just saw that when I pasted it for. Okay, so it's giving me a failed again because, all right, so I created an nginx.config file, so I'm going to delete that.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Sure. You have to unshare yours. Can you see my terminal?
Yes. Unknown directive. Oh, okay. All right. Can you open your vhost file? And can you put a new carriage return on the location.ht line? So if your cursor is in front of location, press enter. Not that one, the next location. Yep. Okay, let's see. Server name. Okay, save it. All right, and do test again. Unknown directive. I wonder if that's line 2. So open your vhost file again. Listen.
Should I leave off the port number? No, probably not.
Take off. Take off the IP address and just leave the port number.
Just the port number. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's colon port. Okay. Save it. And test again.
Yeah, same issue. What if, so wouldn't localhost work? No. Localhost might work. I'm going to see to your expertise on this, but I'm going to try localhost, of course. I'm not really an Nginx expert.
Yep.
But let's try it. No.
Okay. Let me see something. And you're using the IP address of this server, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So remove the local host and colon, just leave the 80.
Anything else?
That's it.
Yeah, same thing.
Can you go back to the error message?
Of course. Wouldn't somebody just have to require a restart for the of Nginx? Or it probably will be able to if the test doesn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So do this. It might be something we can't see. So if you can go back into the chat, copy what I gave you, and uh, paste it into a text file. Make sure it's plain text when you paste it.
Yeah.
And then edit it, and then add your PHP lines in there, and then open your vhost, delete it, paste that in, and then see what happens.
Okay. Thinking there might be extra characters or empty
Yeah,
characters.
yeah, it could be extra characters that that Nginx isn't showing us.
Yeah, because Nginx will read it, and I just won't know about it.
Yep. Yep.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna work this out. Actually, there's a tool which removes line breaks. I'm gonna pass it to that tool.
Okay.
I'm removing the breaks from formatting the text so it can go in cleaner.
Okay.
All right, all cleaned up. Can you still see my terminal?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there were some definite line spaces here. Okay. Test. Successful. Amen. All right. We can
All right. Okay. All right. So I'll go back to sharing my screen.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've got our vhost enabled, I'm going to go back to our directory to where Edutrac SIS is. So above the root directory, the public directory, it has root Edutrac. So I'm going to change that and ch own www.data Edutrac.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, I'm going to change the permission of that folder to 755.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go into the public directory. And I'm going to change the permissions of ETSIS as well as Thinks. I'm going to copy the Thinks sample file to thinks.php. And then I will use manual edit. And I'm basically just putting in my database details.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. Did I skip a step? I did. Okay. Okay. So I need to log into the database with the MySQL user I created. And I need to create a database. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to create. I'm going to name it ETSIS just to make it easy. All right. And I'm going to log out. I'm going to go back and edit the fix.php file. And here we go. Database name. Username. Save it. If everything goes well, I should be able to run the migration. So let's see what happens. So
Let's see what happens.
./etsis core migrate.
Dum dum dum.
And it went smoothly. This error usually will happen. You can ignore it. If you're installing this on a LAMP, it basically means it didn't create the .ht access file, which I believe comes with it anyway. So it may not be a big deal. But if the HT access file isn't there, you may need to create it. All right, so it goes and shows us that all of our migrations have happened. Now, the other thing I need to do is, I'm not exactly sure why the student email node doesn't get created.
Give me 1 second. So, okay. I got it all done, but I'm a little concerned about these warnings.
Oh, you have warnings?
Yeah, I got a notice and 3 warnings, which are permissions denied in var www root directory HTML.
Can you share your screen?
Of course. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
I also didn't run it as a root user. I didn't, which is my bad for not copying. Should I try and do it again? Will that cause a problem? I did get it all done, which is good.
You don't want to do it again because you've already run the migration. So your database has been populated. So what you have to do in this instance is you have to manually create the config.php file. So basically you just copy config.sample.php to config.php.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll give it back to you now.
Okay. And the config.php file is the next file I need to open anyway. So nano config.php.
Sudo nano, sorry. All right, so I have it open as well.
So first thing I need to do is hard code a cookies save path. I'm going to.
I can't see your screen, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Share. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is hard code the cookies save path. I'm putting it above the root directory.
Hold on, my screen hung up a little bit. on the application. So give me 1 second.
No problem.
It's drawing. All right, there we go. So, app new. Let me find that line. All right, so the cookie save path, and I have the DS. So I'm gonna move everything, everything to the INI, and put in the directory of my the public directory.
Yeah, you want to create a directory above the public.
But the SS directory we already created, right?
No. See, my directory var www.edutracsis.com/html is a public directory.
No, what I'm referring to is the SS directory.
I'm sorry?
What I'm referring to is the EDSys directory.
Oh, so the EDSys directory, there's another EDSys directory that gets created in this directory.
Okay.
So this is where I'm telling it to save all of the files that Edutrac needs.
Okay.
The EDSys, I name it EDSys because the directory is usually named after the domain, the subdomain of your domain. So if your domain is www.edutracsas.com, then instead of EDSys, that would be www. My domain is etsis.edutracsis.com, so I've named the directory etsis.
Okay, so that's gonna. In my situation, while I'm using the IP address,
just add www.
It's add www. Okay.
Yep.
So instead of the S's, I will put www.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Then I'm going to go ahead and edit the second line.
So why were you deciding to do it this way as opposed to how I had it originally configured in the what I have working so far?
This helps me to be consistent. You could do it any way you want.
Okay. And the files folder. Nice. Okay. That should do it. I hope it does.
All right, I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, then I'm gonna go to the app. I don't know exactly, so I'll go to app first.
There's an app source in there, so.
Yep. And I need to go to drop-ins. And I need to edit the system.dropin.php. I'm going to come above the email dash node line. And what I'm going to add is this line here, because for some reason, the student underscore email node doesn't get created like it should. So I copy this and I paste it into here.
Okay. Dispense to the email. Okay. Okay.
All right, then I'm going to save it. Then I am going to restart internet. And restart PHP. Right. Then we cross our fingers and see if it worked. So I'm going to my browser, type in etsis.edutrac.sas.com, and we'll see what happens. And it's there.
All right, I'm about to do the same thing.
I'm going to go ahead and log in with the default username and password. Username etsis, password Edutrac SIS.
All right, so only thing I got was my Nginx
Yeah.
welcome page.
So you may need to remove just remove the sites enabled default one.
So I can just delete that file?
Yep.
So I won't delete it, of course, I'll just change it to something else.
Yep. Yep.
Hold on. Okay. All right, so let's try this again. Restart my server. Yeah, I figured that's gonna happen. So it gave me, I couldn't restart this Nginx service because I just removed my default file.
Okay. So enable your default file and disable um, the custom one and add whatever is in your custom one to your default.
Okay. Sudo. Let's open this one. 6.4.68. Hello, from clipboard. Beautiful. We're going to move that to okay, so this is commented area in the vhost folder where it has the vhost configuration for example.com, for example, right? Isn't that basically the same thing you have in your custom file?
Can you show me what you're talking about?
Sure.
I have to see it. Don't want to lie.
I know. I understand. So I think I have to unshare your screen.
I did, I thought.
You did. Okay, it was just a little slow.
Oh, okay.
All right, so can you see it?
Yes, that's basically similar to what I had.
All right, cool. All right. Oh, the server name, right?
Correct.
Okay. Move my old code between my admin. Okay, so I'm going to unshare mine. Try this again. Here we go. Cross my fingers and no. Oh, should I reset the service, right? Reset the service.
Did you test it?
Yes, I'm about to try right now. Yeah, I can't reset the service.
Okay, so share your screen again.
Yeah. So I just tried the Nginx-T.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Could not open error log file. Okay. The user directive makes sense only if the master process runs with user privileges. Huh.
So it seems like something is referencing my old vhost file, which I removed.
So if you can list everything in the directory you're in, if you can go up one to sites enabled, yep, and then go into the sites enabled directory.
Go back into it?
Go into the sites enabled one. Yep. And list everything in there. Okay, so remove the 40.76.4 blah 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 vhost.
Oh, you mean the symbolic link I created there?
Yep.
Okay. How does that syntax go again? Should I do it again for the default folder, for the default file?
No.
Okay. Hold on. What do you mean?
I think because you're in sites enabled, the old is in sites available.
Is in which one?
The old?
As in sites available.
Yes.
Why should you tell me before? You know I'm in the wrong directory. Let's go back to it. Okay. Let's try that unlink again. Okay.
And list the directory again. Okay. So can you just do rm space, no dash, just space, and 40.76.4.168.vhost, enter. And list again. All right, that's good.
So I should try doing Nginx.
Cannot open error log.
That make a difference, but okay.
Cannot open error log. Server directive is not allowed here. Can you open your default in sites? Go back. If you can go back to still, it's the same thing. But, oh, Can you go back to the top again?
Absolutely.
Thank you. You have two server directives. You can only have one.
Oh, so you mean the one that I have down? Okay. Okay, so which one should I take out?
I'd to keep the default with all of the commented text.
For the default?
Yeah, keep that one, and just change whatever you need.
Okay, so here in the default, I put in my IP address and the port number, and then I comment out the ones I put in for the custom.
Correct.
All right. So should I get these two lines here? These two? And put them
I think 3, right?
um so here we have the server. Okay, then we have the location.
So you need the listen, root, index, and server name, right?
All right, so those four, that whole block there. All right, so I'm gonna comment these out. Should I just take out the server altogether because of the fact that
Yes.
all right, so I'm just gonna comment that all out one time. Okay, then we have the locate, just the location. That's what's gonna be there.
Okay. So are you keeping those listing lines, or are you replacing them?
I'm gonna comment these out.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why I'm on a Nano Pro, so I'm not certain why I just did not to get the line numbers. But I've been trying to figure that out for years. Not literally years, but quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, there we go. That's in there now. Can I go ahead and try it again?
Just if you can slowly just scroll through. Just want to make sure. Okay, so root. You need to comment out root there. Not to the top, to the below that. If you keep going down, you'll see root again.
Oh, the root. Okay, I see it. I see.
And comment out the next line, which would be the index line.
Mm-hmm.
And then the server name line. And the location with the tripods. Wait. Yes, because you left those lines to the bottom, right?
Yeah, those at the bottom. So the location PHP as well for the FPM.
Yep. So you need to comment out those lines.
So for the what about for the 404? That should stay, right?
You should comment that out for now.
Right, let's comment that out for now. And for the FPM, did I put those down there? Let me just check that real quick. No, those aren't. Well, yeah, they are. Okay, they are. Okay.
Okay. So you need to comment out the close bracket at the end of that one. Go back up one. Nope.
I see it.
Well, yep, that one. There's another one. Go down. There's another closed bracket that needs to be closed.
Close to which line?
66, sorry.
Okay, I see it. I see it. I need to change this color scheme for my for my terminal because those colors are too similar.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So if you can continue to go down slowly.
Mhm. And that's the end of the file.
Okay. Um, I think there might be an extra closed bracket, but you can save the file and we can test it and see.
Hmm. 99. I think, yeah, that's what it points to. Mm.
Okay, so bind.
So go back into it?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Cannot assign requested address. Okay. Yes, can you open it? And just take out on the listen line, just take out the IP address and just leave 80.
480.
Yep. Okay.
Great. So what's it called again? It's PHP 7.0 dash FPM service. No, okay. That service. Okay. Let's try it. And something's happening. I got a blank screen.
Okay.
Which is exactly how it happened when I did this the first time.
Okay.
So this is progress.
So blank screen. So let's look at, oh wait. Yeah. Let's look at your log file.
The one in the application?
No, the one in your server log file. So that would be var log nginx and then error.log.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, scroll down. Uh-huh. That is 1830. Failed to open stream. No such file directed. And
Did we turn the error logging on in the configuration and the things? Which one was it?
the config file.
Yeah.
No, because there's no need to at this point. It'll be better to just use the server's error log.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Fail to open stream such file. Yep. Mm. So var www. Var www. So what's your public directory? Is it
It's
var
oh, this should be HTML then. Where it says that we have the domain 168, okay, the IP address, and then we have /www. So in the what do you call it? In the config file should be /www instead. Sorry, /HTML and not www.
No. That's right.
Okay.
Because that www is your file save path, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that's right. So it says it can't open it. So let's go back to var www and the IP address.
This is a real pain in the ass typing it over again.
All
So
right.
what am I looking at?
So let's look at the file permissions. What am I looking at? Okay. Let's do this. Create the www directory. And change the user and group of the www with the www-data and Edutrac.
So it should be www.
You're missing the R. Should be chon dash cap R. Yep. And you got date. It should be data.
Thank you.
No problem.
What did I do?
Add the space www. Yep. Okay. Then chmod 777 on the www file directory. All right, and go back to your browser, see what happens.
Yeah, it still hates me. It's still a blank screen.
I'm sorry?
It's still a blank screen.
Okay, and let's go back to the error messages again. No, you got to go up one more directory, Nginx.
Okay.
Why? Okay, let's go to your public directory.
Sorry about my dog.
That's okay.
Give me 1 second, please.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. 76. I feel bad. Okay.
And let's see the file permissions. Okay. So I need to change the permissions on. So do ch on -r www dash data Edutrac space asterisk enter.
So changing everything to be owned by www data and Edutrac.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
what about that? What about the actual HTML directory itself? That's still owned by root.
Is it?
I think so. That's not. I didn't want to do that. That was a mistake. Okay.
You have to go up one more.
It's owned by root. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So let me check. Let me check something.
It's actually HTML folder is still owned by root, and it's in a root group as well.
Okay. All right. So HTML should be owned by www data and Edutrac.
Hold on a second. Let me go back into. So I'm in www folder, right?
Yeah. So, but you need to be in the 40 dot folder.
Yeah. And yeah, that folder is owned by www data Edutrac.
Okay. So that's fine.
That's correct.
So can we go back to the web browser and see what happens?
I'm gonna restart it real quick.
Okay.
What am I doing to restarting? Let's try it again. Yeah, it's still blank.
Okay. Let's do this.
Should I go back to the log file?
No, I'm going to send you something. Yeah, I'm going to send you something. You're able to FTP into the server, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just sent you an email. It is the nodes files. What I want you to do is overwrite your um, that www directory there in your 40.76.4 directory. I want you to overwrite the www directory with the zip file I just emailed.
Hold on. All right, so here we have two folders for files and nodes. Oh, this is for the one that's inside the directory,
Yes.
the 40 the IP address directory. So we'll call it
Yep.
directory. Huh. Are those files hidden?
You should be.
Let me hold on a second. Let me look at that. I'm in the right directory, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. That's empty, so did something go wrong? Maybe could something have gone wrong with the migration?
Did you get my zip file and unzipped it in there?
That's what I'm doing right now. But I'm just saying, like, before I got your zip file, I looked at your zip file, I see that there are these other files in here and directories.
Gotcha. I think
And,
there's a permission issue somewhere that I don't know why. It's not creating those files, which is why I think it's blank when you go to the web browser.
that would make lots of sense.
So
Because there's nothing in that folder, so.
yeah, so if you take the zip file and unzip it and override your current www folder with the files it needs, then we can see if it's a right issue or if it's something else.
Okay. Because I had this issue the first time I installed, but it wasn't due to this, it was due to something else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, after those files are there, maybe we can figure out what that something else is if it's not permission.
Yeah, all right, so let the files in, I'm gonna, yeah, it's still blank.
So list the directory again. Okay. And let's look at the error log.
Mm. Nginx. We get different errors now. That's nice.
Let's see. Okay. So this must be the true error you're getting. What is that?
You're referring to the fatal error, right?
I'm sorry?
You're referring to the fatal error, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
PHP construct get address fail. Config. Okay. Oh, let's look at your config file, which does it exist yet?
Yeah, it does. Oh, you mean the one? Okay, so the config file should be in the directory. Am I correct?
Yes. The one that didn't get created because of the right error.
I created it afterwards.
Okay.
But let's go to it anyway. Want to go to it anyway?
Yep.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. And scroll down till we get to the database details. Yep. Keep going. Yep, there it is. That's the problem. We need to change the database details.
Okay.
So host, replace host name and database and username with whatever your database.
What's in the fix file?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I'm not going to paste it as is. I'm going to just copy that information. Well, I'm going to open up a block and another block real quick. Okay, yeah, that's easy enough. Let's try it again.
Mm-hmm.
Still blank. Back to the error log.
Back to the error log.
Yeah, still giving a.
Keep going down one.
C5. 65.
I think that's okay. Keep going.
That's the end of it.
Okay. All right. So there's a permission issue. Connect read file cache. All right. So the cache directory is supposed to be www files cache. Okay. So let's go back to your file save path.
In the config, right?
No, the www folder.
Oh, okay, I'm in that path. Okay.
Yeah.
What's there?
So actually go up one
Mm-hmm.
and then list. That's fine. Then go into it and list. That's what I thought. Okay, go up one. And we need to change some permissions. So ch on
Dash R.
yep, capital R, www dash data colon Edutrac www enter. Okay, try browser again.
Isn't that how it was before?
Are you talking about the permission?
Yeah.
No, the files in W, because you overwrote.
Oh, okay. I just put those there. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, yes. And I forgot to
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
I forgot to go back and say change the permission.
Crossing my fingers and my toes while simultaneously click refresh, and something's happening. Something's happening. Offline. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Beautiful. So it gives me the offline page.
Yeah, good. That's good. So now what I want you to do is go up one directory.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to rename www to www underscore old.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go back to the browser and I want to see if it still works.
It does.
All right. So list the directory. That means permissions are working and www got created again. So it's all set.
Okay. So what do I do to get rid of this offline as a default?
So basically that's just in the setting. So when you log in, just go to the general setting and set the offline mode to online.
Oh, what's the default username and password?
The default username is ETSIS and the password is Edutrac SIS.
Yeah, it's on your installation page actually.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. A second here. Copy and paste it. There we go. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, so under the general settings, it would be the my ETSIS mode. It's an offline. So if you do online, you have to also make sure that all of the required fields are also populated. So cron jobs, you can turn that off. API key, if you press the question mark next to it, pop-up will come up on it, gives you some information. It says click here.
Hold on a second. I'll ask you for a second. So from here, what should I change first?
Oh, sorry. Let me look at. Um, I'm right now. I'm looking at your email.
Oh, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay.
So
How about now?
okay. So go up to screens at the top.
Mm-hmm. Screens.
Mhm. And then administrative. It's at the
Administrative.
very top. At the very top, administrative. And then over to general settings. And then if you select cron jobs, right now you can just leave that off. So select off. And then my ETS mode, if you select that to online.
Oh.
Yep. And then API key over to the right. If you click the question mark, and then you click here in a new tab. Nope. Yep. Yep. Exactly. And put that into there, and then go back and do the cron job again because you had left the page off, and then click save. And then you can go back to the front page. You can click the globe click the globe on the right side of the search. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep. So that's it. It is 3:04, and I do have to go.
No, well, okay. Well, this is less time than I thought it was. I originally scheduled it for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
We didn't get to do anything with Apache today, which is fine. I can probably figure it out from Apache now because it seemed that most of the issues once I got past a certain point weren't really server related, more so permissions and just general file issues.
Yes.
So,
And
I actually know exactly where I went wrong the last time, and so I can see how to do Apache.
Yep. So when we're in the config file, I went a little quick and forgot to say, make sure you change database details because you weren't using the root user to run the migration. So it didn't create the config.php file. So we had to manually create it, but we also needed to go in and change not only just the cookie save path and file save path, but we needed to also enter in our database details.
Yeah, I was too fast with my fingers. I didn't type in sudo when I was typing doing the migration.
Yep, no, not a problem. So I will send this recording to you. So you basically should be able to follow the exact same thing with doing Apache. If you run into any issues, just let me know.
Okay. I can't express to you enough how much this has been informational for me and the team. I greatly appreciate it. And
no problem. No problem.
Hopefully I don't have to bother you again. However, I would like to be back in touch with you through some other topics.
It's no bother whatsoever.
Okay. All right. Well, with that said, I'll let you go. Won't take up any more of your time. And Rachel and Sharon, let's get another meeting after this, please, if you can. Give it a minute, just talk about this.
What was that, Alfredo?
Let's jump on another quick meeting in Teams right now, so we have like a minute to talk between the three of us real quick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Joshua, especially for your information, for your help with this.
No problem. Glad to help.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
All righty. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.